Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So today marks a very special day in my YouTube stacking journey, and that is because today I've been on YouTube for a whole 2 years. So it's been an absolutely incredible journey, and my next 2 videos, this one included, are going to be basically talking about how my journey begun and how I got to where I am today. So first of all, I want to start by saying a massive thank you to everyone that supported my channel, everyone that's been following my videos along, people that watch them, like them, share them, comment on them, interact with them. I really appreciate it. Now, when I first came up with the idea to start 365 Days of Silver, I was actually away on a family holiday in Yorkshire, somewhere that we go every single year with my brother, my brother's partner, his child, and my mum and my gran, and also obviously my partner and my 2 children. We go there every single year. We quite often stay in the same house. It's quite a large house that we can all fit in, and we always go to the same village. And it was there where I came up with the idea of starting a YouTube channel. Now, I've invested in many things in the past. When I first started my investment journey, property is one of the first things I actually got involved with. And I know that sounds a bit strange because normally property is something that you end up getting into after you've already invested in different things. You kind of build up your funds in, let's say, savings or premium bonds or even in the stock market. And when it gets to a larger sum of money, that is when normally people start looking into the larger investments like property. However, I did it a little bit back to front. I ended up taking some equity out of my residential property. My property had gone up around about 100,000 in total, and we took out not all of it, but quite a large amount of equity from my house. And I used that to start investing in property. And we actually bought 2 properties within the same week. They basically completed within the same week. So it was a real eye-opener getting involved in property. It was a huge learning curve for me. Both of the houses that I invested in when I first started, I didn't even view the houses. One of them I bought without any viewings at all. I literally had to blag to the estate agent that I was a property investor and I'd done it before and I owned multiple properties, because the property was actually an 8-hour round trip away from where I live. So when I tried to put an offer in on the house, they said to me that we couldn't accept an offer without a viewing. It's not something that's done. People always view houses before they make offers. And me at the time, I thought, right, this is the perfect house. I don't need to view it. Everything looks fine. The refurb looks amazing and all the rest of it. And I basically had to blag to the solicitor that I was a property investor. I owned multiple properties. I regularly had offers accepted on properties without viewing them because of how far away I live. And eventually, because I kind of talked a good talk, he eventually kind of came round and said, it sounds like you know what you're doing. It sounds like you've done this sort of thing before. So we're happy to put this offer forward to the seller. Now, when I bought my second house, it was a little bit different. I realised that I needed to find someone to view the house in order to put the offer down and not have to try and blag my way round. So I actually found someone on Instagram that was doing up properties at the time in Liverpool. That was my second investment area. And I actually asked him if he would go and view a house. I said to him, if I gave you £50, would you mind going to view a house for me? You literally just have to walk around, pretend you're having a little look around, and then that will be enough for me to be able to put an offer in on the house. Now, it turned out that this person actually really liked the idea of viewing the house, and he actually came up with a whole tick box kind of notepad full of different things that he was going to check, because he was actually in the business of buying properties from auction, doing them up and then flipping them. So he kind of knew what to look for when viewing a house. So he actually came up with I think it was a 4 or 5 page checklist of things that he was going to check. And he actually did that off his own accord. I just basically wanted him to go into the property and wander around just so that I could put the offer in. But he actually did all these fine checks for me, went and checked the boiler, the age of the boiler, and all the things that you should be checking, the roof of the property, the dampness of the walls, and all the things that you should be doing anyway before buying a house. And he liked the idea of doing that so much that actually after I reached out to him and he did that, he actually offered that as a service. So on his Instagram page, he actually listed that he offered viewing houses as a service for £50, and he would go around and he would do all these different checks for people that lived a little bit further away and they wanted to invest away from where they actually live and they didn't have the time to go and view these properties. And I don't know if he still does it now, because we're talking 5 years ago now since I first bought that property. But yeah, it was nice to actually give him an idea of making an extra stream of income, and it was something that he started regularly doing. He actually viewed a few more houses after I brought this one for me, and he went round and viewed them for me with this checklist, and it was a really nice way of working alongside someone, even though I live sort of 4 or 5 hours drive away from them. So yeah, so that's a kind of little side topic backstory. But yeah, basically I kind of got into property as one of my first investments. Now I started documenting that journey. I had an Instagram account and I started documenting that journey and going through all the troubles and things that I faced. I faced a lot of troubles with the very first house that I brought, the one that wasn't checked over at all, because although the refurb looked really, really nice on paper and in the pictures, it actually turned out that the concrete guttering, it was an older house and it had concrete guttering. The concrete guttering was leaking. So although the refurb looked really nice, after I actually brought the house, all of the walls upstairs started flooding and leaking, and damp started coming through the ceiling. And yeah, there was a lot of problems with that house. So right off the bat, I had to replace all of the guttering system. I had the option of repairing it, the places where it was leaking. I said to the builders, like, I want a kind of long-term fix. I know it's going to cost more. And we decided to go for ripping down all the concrete guttering and replacing it all. So yeah, there was a number of other issues that arise. So a little bit of advice for those people that are thinking about getting into property in the future: always view them. Going forward, the best way of doing it, and again, this is completely going off topic, this video is going to be longer than I wanted it to be, but going forward, when I'm buying houses, what I do is I get the builder that I plan to use to do the refurb to view the house for me. Because then as they're going round the house viewing it, they're also taking note and almost giving you an estimation of how much the work is needed to be able to get it up to scratch, to be able to rent it out. So that is kind of killing two birds with one stone, because you don't actually have to buy the house and then look for a builder and get the builders to go around and give you an estimate on how much work is needed. You can almost do it 2 in 1. You can get him to view the house for you. And again, you've got to find a builder that's willing to work alongside you with this. But most builders will be, because they know at the end of it, they're going to be guaranteed a job. Basically, they're viewing the house, they're giving you an estimate of what work needs doing. Once you buy the house, they will get cracking and start working on the property straight away. So that is the best advice I would give you if you want to buy a house without actually viewing it yourself. And it makes a lot more sense to get the builder that you plan to use in, because like I said, as he's viewing it, he's also giving you a quote at the same time. So that's what I would recommend doing going forward. But yeah, back to the first house I brought, had lots of problems. We had lots of work that needed doing. I think it was almost a whole year before we could actually even let the house out in the end, because there was so many kind of hidden problems. There was a lot of kind of painting over problems and making it look nice. The refurb looked really nice, but behind closed doors, like I said, the guttering was leaking and all these different things were wrong with it. So anyway, back to trying to get back on topic a little bit. I started an Instagram account. I started documenting my property investing journey, and it very quickly ran out of content, because it takes a lot of capital to get involved in property, and it's not something that you can consistently do every single month or every single week or whatever is needed to kind of build a Instagram account. Now, don't get me wrong, I've built the Instagram account to quite a large social media following, but I very quickly run out of content. I started having to promote kind of generic things to do with property investing instead of actually things to do with my actual journey, because basically I ran out of capital to continue buying houses. So that's why I ran out of content. Now, the next thing I got involved with after buying the properties, the first 2 properties, I got involved in the stock market. And then not long after that, I got involved in crypto. And both of these investments, I also started sharing my journey on social media. I built quite a large following on YouTube. And again, some of this stuff I haven't even spoken about in the past, but I built quite a large YouTube channel showcasing my investing in the stock market journey. But again, that soon ran out of content, and it was quite mundane, quite boring, just showing graphs and showing my stocks and things like that. It wasn't very interesting. It wasn't very inspiring for me to film either, because I was just screen recording my phone and going onto my investing apps and talking through my investments, but not much was changing. I wasn't buying lots of different investments. I was trying to keep it quite strict, so sort of no more than 20 different stocks. So it wasn't like I could show much variety. Once you've done a few videos showing the stocks that you're investing in, the content starts to get very boring and very bland. And the same happened with the crypto market. When I started investing in crypto, Again, I built up an account showing my journey, but again, I very quickly run out of content. So the final thing that I got involved with, and like I said before on this channel, I think there's only a handful of true investment vehicles where I think real wealth can be made. And I think the main ones are property investing, stock market, and precious metals. They're the main three that I focus on. Crypto is a bit more of a speculative play. It's more of a gamble. It's more of a lottery ticket that never expires. When you're buying some of these risky coins, you can put, say, £100 in, it could go to zero, it could go to 1,000. But again, like I said, it's more like a lottery ticket that never expires. You have to kind of just let it sit there and do its thing. So it's a very risky play. It is a lot more like gambling, as opposed to the stock market when you're investing in real companies that have real cash flow and real bricks and mortar businesses and all the rest of it. So they're my main three investment vehicles. But out of all of those three, the only one that I really found that was interesting to actually document and film and share with people was precious metals. So when I first started getting into precious metals, like I said, it was the last investment vehicle I got into. And that was because I read a book called How to Own the World. And when I read How to Own the World, it was a really interesting eye-opener, because it really talks to you about how you should invest in multiple things, not have all your eggs in one basket. It talks to you about how when one market is doing well, another one is normally not doing so well. So when there's a bull market in one particular asset, one of them might be having a bear market and vice versa. So as long as you've got a kind of a mixture of assets, you're always going to have at least one that's performing well. And I took a lot away from that book, and when I kind of finished the book, I thought, you know what, the only asset that I haven't actually got from this book is precious metals. And that is what got me looking into precious metals. And like I said, that is why precious metals was the last investment vehicle I got into. But it's turned out to be the most exciting, the most rewarding. I've made so many great friends. There's been a massive community that's been built in the UK. There's regular things on every single week that different channels put on that keep helping the community grow. We've got Stacker Social now, which is absolutely amazing. Stacker Social, a quick plug, is basically a Discord group that I created alongside Cider Soundman and Stack Collector. All three of us co-founded it. I originally came up with the idea on Telegram, and we quickly moved it over to Discord, and that's where it's really blown up, and it's an amazing community. And yeah, like I said, the most rewarding investment out of all of them has been precious metals, because of how much it's brought to the table for me in terms of my channel and making friends and just being in part of a community. So that is kind of what happened, really. How I got into filming my journey was because I tried filming all of my different journeys to kind of document them, but the one that kind of stuck, and the one that was most enjoyable to film, and the one that was easier to introduce variety, because like I said, if you're buying the S&P 500, for example, you're just buying the same stock over and over again. There's not much excitement in that. It's a very boring investment. It works, but it's a very boring investment. And again, everything I say in this video is definitely not financial advice. This is just kind of what I'm doing. So do not follow anything I say in this video and go and do it yourself. You need to do all your own research into these different investment vehicles before you get involved in any. But I found with precious metals, the reason why it was so rewarding and why it was so great to make content on is because it is a lot of variety. You don't have to buy the same 1 ounce coin every single week. You can mix it up. You don't have to keep buying Britannias. You can buy a stack around, you can buy a silver bar, and it really is all adding to the same pot, but it's a lot more variety. Whereas, like I said, if you're investing in stocks or investing in property, after a while it gets boring because you're just buying the same thing over and over again. Whereas with precious metals, although you're buying silver or gold, you're still picking up different things, exciting things, and it makes a lot better content for people that are watching. So that's kind of how the channel started. It was the last investment vehicle I got in. I started documenting my journey like I did with all my other investment vehicles, but this just kind of was a lot more enjoyable. And I found the community that I'm a part of, and it's an amazing community. The thing with the stacking community is everyone wants everyone to do well. It's like no other community that I've ever been a part of or ever seen. Everyone wants everyone to do well. Everyone's encouraging everyone to move forward. Everyone's cheering each other on. When someone's coming up to their first 100 subscribers, everyone's sharing their channel, everyone's subscribing, everyone's pushing their content. Whereas you don't really feel that in other communities. All of the other communities that I was a part of when I was growing my other investment vehicles, it's a bit of a a backstabbing market. You don't really feel other channels pushing each other along. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing, whereas it's not like that in the stacking community. Everyone's as one. Everyone wants to see everyone succeed. Everyone wants to help everyone. Everyone wants to help each other grow. And it's just a really, really nice community to be a part of. Now, when I first started filming, I didn't really know where to film, and I used to film on the floor of my partner's salon. Now, for those of you that are watching my videos, you'll know that my garage was converted into a hairdressing salon, and that is where my partner works from. She actually works from home, but the garage basically feels like a salon. It's got plumbed in hair basin and all the rest of it. So it's a really nice looking space. And because it's the newest room in the house, all the flooring looks nice and crisp, and all the skirting board looks nice and all the rest of it. So that is where I started filming my videos. I started filming my videos on the floor in her hairdressing salon, basically. So I decided that I needed to up my game a little bit, and I thought, you know what, I need to actually start filming some videos. And again, some of these videos you won't see on my channel. The very first video on the channel, you will see me filming in this. But the video I'm talking about now, where I was filming on the floor, that was actually uploaded to one of my older channels. I actually first started documenting my journey on one of my older YouTube channels. And it was only when I realized that this was what I wanted to do going forward, and I wanted to continue stacking, that I decided to create a whole new channel called 365 Days of Silver. So the original videos, my very first videos, which like I said, a lot of you wouldn't have seen, I don't think I've even uploaded. I think I've re-uploaded some of them actually. But yeah, the very first videos I was literally filming on the floor. So I quickly decided that I needed to up my setup game. I was watching people over in the US and watching their backdrops and thinking how amazing it was. And I was like, you know what, I need to up my game. I can't be sitting on the floor filming coins. I need to actually work out how I'm going to film and make it look professional. So that is how I came up with this light box, essentially. And I literally made this whole thing myself. And this was where I started first filming, when I first started this channel, when I first started my new channel and uploading content on this channel. Now, this was literally an old storage container. When my granddad passed away, which was a few years ago now, we went round to the house and we was helping clear everything out. And myself and my brother was taking some of the tools to add to our own collection, instead of them all being thrown away, because he had so much stuff and it was almost overwhelming the amount of stuff that he had in his garage. So it was one of those things where we didn't have time to sell everything. So it was kind of like, take what we wanted, and the rest they kind of just had to either sell at the house or get rid of. I'm not sure what happened to everything else. But myself and my brother went round and we took as many tools as we could to add to our own collections. And I put them all in this container. This is just a plastic storage container. So again, it holds real sentimental value, this container in itself, because it was actually from my granddad's garage. And I had this container, and I literally got this from my own shed, and I thought, I need to make this into a setup somehow. How can I make it look professional? So let's make a little bit of space and I'll show you how I actually put this setup together. And this will be quite helpful for those people that are thinking about making a YouTube channel. Those of you that are sitting on the fence thinking about where you're going to film your videos from. It just goes to show how easy and how professional you can make them look just by making a setup as simple and as compact as this, because this is really small. This can be moved and put away in a cupboard or anywhere, but when you're actually filming on it, it gives it a sense of a lot larger space. And I will show you an example of that in a minute. I'm just going to move my lunch to one side. And again, this is what is so good about when you're filming content on YouTube, because the coins are quite small, you can zoom in and you can work with a smaller space. So you can really make things look like a lot larger than they actually are. You only really need a small space when you're setting up your backdrops and videos. You don't need a huge table space, you just need a small area. So it really is what you do with the space that you've got. And like I said, this is literally just a plastic container. And let's try and take you for a little tour around it. So this is a battery pack on the top. And this is literally, like I said, just a plastic storage box. So obviously it would sit that way round and you would put things into it. Wow, look at that. Look what's just fallen out of the back. That must have been underneath this tray. Just found an old American, well, I say old, it's not that old, 2012 American Silver Eagle. Look at the state of that. Why is it toned like that? Look at the toning on it. So that must have been underneath this. This is literally a jewellery mat that I ordered on eBay. It's the same mats that they use in jewellery shops when they're showing customer things. They put that down first and then they can put items on it for them to look at. And I'm guessing this must have fallen down the back of it and been underneath it. And where I've just picked this up, it's just fallen out. Because that definitely wasn't in there before. But look at that. I can't believe that. I don't know why it's gone that colour. I don't know why it's toned that way. It's kind of gone almost black. It looks a bit lighter than it is on the camera. There we go. Look at that. Very, very strange and unusual toning that's got. So that has literally been sitting against that plastic with this over the top of it for God knows how long. I haven't got this box out in ages and years. I say years, in about a year. So wow, that's cool, that's interesting. Right, put that to one side. Right, so we continue the tour of this box. So like I said, it literally just sits on the side like that. It's just a plastic, normal plastic storage box. And what I did, I turned it round like that on its side. I cut a hole in the top, and that hole is for my camera phone to go down. So obviously you've got the camera lens, you just literally sit it like that when you're filming down. So that's what that space there is for. And then this here is the light. So I've literally just taped it all around the back just to make it neater, all the cable. But that goes behind here. That goes behind here, and that is just a really cheap LED stick-on plastic strip light that I stuck in a circle behind here. And I got that from eBay for a couple of pounds. And you can see the cabling goes along around the side and then along the back. And then I've secured the actual buttons for it here. But then what I did is I got some cardboard and I built like a light box. It's quite hard to see, but I literally just built a box around the light, and then this is just literally shower curtain that I put on top, and that helps diffuse the light. It gives it, instead of filming and seeing kind of the ring on the coins from the ring light that's behind the back, it just makes the light spread out and looks a lot more natural. And then what I did is I literally kitted it out with cardboard, with white cardboard, and using hot glue, so that it hasn't got all the red effect around it. Because what I found when I started filming, before I put all this cardboard around it, is you was getting like a red glare on all the coins because it was reflecting off of the red background. So I put that all the way around the edge, and then I had to give it a bit of a peak as well. So again, this is just cardboard that I hot glued around just to give it a bit more of a peak and keep out the daylight and the artificial light around. But yeah, that's all it is. This took me probably a few hours to put together, and the look and feel it gives is amazing. It gives a really professional look when I was showcasing coins. And like I said, that just slides in the bottom, and that is just a felt jewellery mat. And then let me show you how it looks once I've got the light on. So this is just a power bank that connects to the top. Where's the bit gone? Just here. So this comes up the back like this, plugs in like that. Turn that on. Now we've got some power. Turn that on, and then you can see we have some light. So yeah, really simple setup, really cheap to do. I only really had to pay for the actual light. The rest was all kind of made myself. And again, that was only a couple of pounds. So really, really easy to make. And let me just show you the effect that it gives. If you lay some coins, this is a little bit dusty because it's been in a cupboard for, like I said, over a year now. If we dust that down and we lay some coins out like that, and then I take this camera off the tripod, move that to one side, and then we place that here. Zoom in a little bit so you don't see the light box. And this is literally how I first started filming my videos. Really simple setup, really easy to put together, and it gives it a really professional look and feel. So there we go. So that is literally how easy it is to make a studio for filming with. My first videos were literally filmed using this, showcasing them using this box. So what we'll do, we'll just slide that back over there, and we'll put this back on the tripod now. So yeah, that's a kind of full backstory on how this channel first begun and how I first started filming my videos. I'm going to wrap the video up because this video has got quite long, but before we do that, I just want to go through a couple of channel stats with you just to show how far this channel's come in just a short 2 years. I've actually uploaded 698 videos. Once I finish filming this video and edit it, that'll be 699. And then I'm going to film number 700th episode on this channel using the Lightbox, just for old time's sake. So the upload that I'm going to be doing later on tonight, you'll see, will be filmed solely using this Lightbox. And it'll just be quite nice to do a full circle. But like I said, I've uploaded 700 videos after I finished filming these 2 videos today on this channel. And that works out roughly just under 1 video a day for every single day of the 2 years. So it just goes to show that in order to build a channel, you do have to be consistent. You do have to be filming and uploading very regularly, especially when you're starting out on building a channel. It's nice to just keep pumping out the content, find what works, find what content you enjoy filming, find what content people enjoy watching. And the main thing to remember is just have fun with it. Don't get too caught up on the stats. If you release a video and it only gets 10 views and then you release another video and it gets 100, don't get too caught up on thinking the reasons behind it. Just enjoy what you're doing. As long as you're enjoying putting content out and filming, that's all that matters. Look at it like a hobby, not like a business when you're growing a channel. And I've got a lot of videos that I put loads of effort in. I've done loads of research. I did huge backdrops. And they've only got a couple of 100 views. And I've done some videos where, like I said, I was sitting on the floor in my partner's hair salon, just talking about silver coins. And those videos have blown up and they've got kind of 30,000 views, 40,000 views. So it just goes to show that it doesn't always necessarily mean that the amount of research and work that you put into a video reflects on the views either. So that's why it's very important that you just have fun with what you're doing. But yeah, I've been filming a lot of videos, as you can see, over the course of the last 2 years. And that has helped with the growth of the channel. These are the channel stats. So you can see today's date marks, like I said, 2-year anniversary of being on YouTube. The total views across all of my videos on the channel total to nearly 2 million views, which is incredible. It's actually 1,760,000 views in total. So amazing amount of views there. Really overwhelming to think that we have nearly 2 million views in total on this channel in just 2 years. Absolutely incredible. So again, a massive thank you to everyone that's helped with those views and helped support my channel. I want to do a massive shout out as well to the 365 Club members. Some of you have been a member since pretty much day one of when I could first offer the membership. So some of you have been members on my channel for way over a year. So I really appreciate that as well. I really appreciate that extra support. And I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to box off in today's video. I just wanted to kind of have a little recap and bring you up to speed and tell you how that we got to where we are today. But yeah, I really enjoyed today's video, going down memory lane. I hope it's been useful and helpful. And I hope people that, like I said, are thinking about starting channels, start channels, because like I said, you don't need a lot of space to film videos. You don't need a lot of money to build a nice backdrop. You can literally make something similar to this and start uploading content straight away. And it is all just about perception. If you look from this angle, it's an old plastic storage box, really tacky and cheap looking, but then like I said, when you get to the top and you look down, it looks completely different, really classy. And that's what it's all about. It's all about perception when you're filming videos. You don't need a lot of room. Similar to my lunch today, it's all about perception. It looks like it's something else when it's actually not. This is actually resin. It's not actually a prawn roll at all. I just put a little bit of water on it to make it look like it was real. So yeah, thanks very much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. And like I said, please keep a lookout for tonight's video, where I will be going right back to basics and I'll be filming an episode using this light box. Again, a massive shout out to everyone that's helped me get where I am today. A massive thank you to everyone that's followed me along on the journey. I really, really appreciate it. I've made some great friends along the way, and I've really, really enjoyed the 2 years that I've been on YouTube on 365 Days of Silver. So thanks again. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a very nice day.